All right, Little Big Planet 2 is out. You've probably read tons of reviews. Earlier this week, Jeff from PlayStation stopped by the studio to share some of his favorite user-created levels, and we got a chance to ask him some of those tough questions that you want to know about the game. Check this out. All right, I'm here with Jeff from PlayStation. Jeff, thanks for coming by.
Always a pleasure.
I heard that you just got back from playing a lot of Little Big Planet.
A record amount of Little Big Planet. Actually, I was doing a little bit of playing, but a lot of watching. We took 3 of our best Little Big Planet 1 designers. We brought them to the PlayStation Lounge in New York, and right at launch, we sat them down and they played for 50 hours straight. In the process, set 5 Guinness Book of World Records.
Wow, and in the 50 hours, this is what I think is interesting. They did not repeat a level, right?
No, they did, and that was actually one of the records they set. They played over 580 user-generated levels and set a record for most user-generated levels played in one sitting.
Wow. So obviously the user-generated levels are such a huge part of Little Big Planet. We've heard a lot about the creation tools and how they've been improved as the games come out. I'm not a guy who makes levels.
I hear you. So the good part is there's a lot of people who do create the levels, and even if it's only the top talented 10%, they're making tons of levels. So the first time you load this up, there's actually over 3 million levels from Little Big Planet 1 brought into Little Big Planet 2, and better yet, there's a new graphics engine, so they're up-res, they look better. So anything that you've seen before, you get to play it again with like a shiny coat of paint.
And that's cool. And one of the things that I kind of got a little fatigued with is like, even as great as Little Big Planet is, you're playing platformer after platformer after platformer, and it's the level creation tools have really been changed to sort of eliminate that now, right?
Absolutely. So what we have here is a level that was created by one of the designers. He was actually just a gamer in Little Big Planet 1, and he made some really cool stuff.
So you're actually going to show us a couple levels today that have nothing to do with platforming, just to kind of show some of your favorites.
Exactly. So this was made by Johnny, and this is Blast Radius, and this is a twin-stick shooter. So if you've ever played Super Stardust or anything like that, and it controls just like a twin-stick shooter, you don't even see Sackboy in this. And this is a game that is most fun when it's played cooperatively. You can play with 4 other players. The best part is you could just jump online with other people, and this is not a platformer. And this is just something that he was able to throw together rather quickly, and it's challenging and it's fun.
That's awesome. Now, one of the things that I had problems with, not problems, but it was kind of hard to kind of sift through user-created levels in Little Big Planet the first time.
Right.
How has that sort of changed and been made easier?
Probably the biggest revelation for Little Big Planet 2 in terms of that is LBP.me. It's a website where you can go through and you can find what your friends have built, what the best rated stuff is out there, and then you can actually just click, add it to your queue, and then next time you load up LBP, you can go, you can read what other people have said about these levels, and it's important that to read the ratings and leave your own feedback. If you play something good, let other people know about it, and if you play something that you didn't like, save someone some trouble.
Okay, cool. So tell me about this next one. This looks surreal.
Yes, this is called Duck Blaster, and it's actually surreal how it was created. This was actually created during the world record run. So they wanted to set a record for most genres played in one setting in 24 hours. And there's tons of genres out there, like sports games and puzzle games and shooters and everything. And they realized there was no arcade style shooter. So the Media Molecule team, they bounced out to another PS3 outside of the room, and they built this in 25 minutes. So this is Duck Blaster, and it's a pretty competent, if you've played ever like Time Crisis or anything like that, you counter to what you would think, you don't blast the rainbow skulls, you blast the cute little ducks.
And has anything changed in terms of community, in terms of finding friends, adding friends, suggesting levels to one another?
Again, LBP.me has all of that stuff covered, and sometimes it's a little easier to do something on the computer, and also a lot of people, they play the game at home and then they're in work and they're goofing off, and it's fun to just go in there and see. And it has a stream actually, and you can see it within the game of activity, and you can see what other of your friends have been doing, and you can just jump in there too. You can choose to follow someone's stream, and then if they played something, if they hearted something, if they rated something, you can go ahead and try it yourself.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So what do you got for your final level here?
What it is it's actually a sort of a nascent RPG. So again, not a platformer, and it's not like anything that you were ever able to do in Little Big Planet 1. It's got, again, like its own title screen.
I love that everything has its own title screen now. Like they all feel so much more complete,
Yeah, it's a game within a game. You're not just making levels for a platformer, you're making your own game. And it's very early on, but we know that just like the creativity of the community, they're really going to learn to hack the system and do some amazing stuff. So this actually is sort of reminiscent of Adventure from like back in the Atari days, and it's a top-down view. And your controller, you control your character. He goes in. He's going to have conversations, and then this is, I think, about the first 5 to 10 minutes that this guy was able to do in just a few days since the game came out.
Wow.
To build an RPG, and
it's completely got its own look too.
Exactly. You've got the rain, and music's another big thing. There's a music visualizer. It's sort of like an 808 inside LittleBigPlanet, where you can make and compose your own music, and we're going to see some really creative stuff there.
Well, awesome. Jeff, thank you so much for coming by and showing us these levels. I can't wait to dive in. This is actually my personal copy, and I want to take it home and play. Yeah,
get started.
Give it back. If you haven't already bought the game, you can get it now at sonystyle.com, including the collector's edition, which I have and I love, and it comes with a Sackboy. And you cannot beat that.